Okay, I'm not gonna lie, posting every single day is getting a little bit more difficult because I'm kind of just running out of things to talk about, and I don't know if it's actually entertaining you guys or not. So let me know, would you rather just like simple posts every single day where I really don't know what to talk about? Or would you rather me just like post when I actually have something to talk about so that it's not just like silly videos that people probably don't care about? Anywho, today I might just talk to you guys about flat mites because for the longest time I didn't know what flat mites were, and they were kind of destroying some of my Hoyas. And because they are microscopic, they can sometimes be hard to treat or hard to spot. They aren't hard to treat. I treat them different than other people. I know a lot of people will use like sulfur treatments, and that does work. However, I don't like the look of sulfur treatments on my plants. So if I'm being honest, I just take rubbing alcohol 90% and put it in a spray bottle, and I just spray my plants and go to town. That is how I treat flat mites. That's how I treat a lot of pests in my situation, because really no pest is gonna be able to survive 90% alcohol. So yeah, I just use rubbing alcohol to treat for 90% of my pests. I do make my own DIY pest spray as well, but if I'm actively dealing with pests, I mostly just use rubbing alcohol. But flat mites are a microscopic mite, and they typically tend to go after new growth, specifically on Hoyas is where you'll see them most often. They can definitely affect other plants, but you will see them most often on species like Hoyas, and they will target the new growth on your plant. So if you are noticing a Hoya that you have had for a really long time and the new growth is either coming in really stubby looking, or they're just not growing, or you have weird little brown spots on your plants, definitely I would just treat for flat mites. You can get a microscope and look, but personally I just find it easier just to treat because if all else fails, you don't have mites and you're just treating your plant preventatively, I guess. So I've always just treated, even if I don't 100% know that that is what flat mites, or if they're actively having flat mites. Anywho, I'm going to show you on my Hoya Burtonnae what flat mite damage can look like. These weird brown spots, it can also be sunburn, so just double check. Like, some of these are sunburn, but flat mite damage can look very similar. This one does not actively have flat mites anymore, but it did, and that damage is obviously just not going to go away. It's already damaged. But yeah, it can have these weird little brown spots like that, and that is a sign that you might have flat mites. If you guys have any other questions about flat mites, put them in the comments, or if you have any suggestions for other people that might be battling them, go ahead and put that in the comments too. I'll see you next time. Bye.